Speaking of inappropriate music, The Rock decided to rap.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thoughts on that?
My honest thoughts, I didn't think it was very good. I liked the second part of his verse. I thought the first part was very, it just didn't come off natural. It just felt like he was.
He used a thesaurus for part of that first half of the verse.
Yeah, well, not only that, I think he probably had his lyrics written for him.
Then somebody else used a thesaurus for the first part of that verse.
I mean, hey, listen, he's a big fan of Tech Nine. So, you know, kudos to Tech Nine because Tech Nine's an incredible artist.
Tech Nine's an amazing rapper, yeah.
Yeah, and he's well known, but he never really broke out of like the really well known underground kind of
people that like rap a lot.
Oh, yeah. He's respected a lot.
No Tech Nine, but then you're not, the people that are listening to Drake aren't like, oh yeah, I fucks with Tech Nine.
Well, some of them. I mean, the hip hop heads, they know. They know
what I mean, though.
Yeah, the casuals, yeah. they don't know what Tech Nine is.
Yeah.
But the real hip hop heads out there know what the fuck is up. So I'm happy for Tech Nine because he's getting a lot. I mean, he's got like, a #1 track. He's with The Rock. The Rock's a big fan. This is great for him. I thought The Rock did a fine of a showing, but like he's not. Stick to your Disney songs, right? Like, if The Rock came out, yeah, like listen, I think The Rock is ultra talented. He's hardworking.
Absolutely,
he's that guy. But like, I'm never gonna buy a rock album. If The Rock was like, hey, I'm gonna do a hip hop album and get all of the biggest artists around it, like, I'm gonna listen to it just because I want to see the train wreck, but. I'm more so listening to, he needs. I mean, it's hard to hate on the guy, right? And he's on a track with legitimately talented artists that are making him not look like great. And then on top of that, like this is the part that hurt me, is like, okay, you know what? He's in the song, and the song is like a serious song. Like they're taking it serious. Like this isn't a parody. Like he's making a real song. And, I thought the first was a little bit too, like, the first part of his verse was a little too on the, buttons. And, it just didn't flow like the way it was on beat. But I liked the second part where he was mimicking sort of a Tech Nine type flow. I thought that was really cool. And I actually thought that sounded good. But the part that hurts me, man, is at the end of it. Like The Rock, he gets thrown his fucking tequila. And he's promoting his brand, his tequila brand. He does this Samoan thing that he always does, which is fine. I mean, you're representing your people, and that's cool and all. But like, dude, just shut it off for a little bit, man. Like,
not possible.
And then not only that, like the cringiest thing, it's like at the end he starts talking as well, like, thank you, Tech Nine. It's an honor, brother, and fucking whatever he says. It's like, dude, just. With all due respect, man, shut the fuck up, man. Just like do the music. Not everything needs to, like, you don't need to voice it. Like, it's hard to explain, but this guy is just like, he can't turn it off. Like, it's like, dude, if you just went in there and had some fun, which I'm sure he did, is one thing, but stop selling me shit. And like, it's the same thing. I knew the moment the song came out that within a day, you know what The Rock's favorite number is? #1. That's his favorite number. And then 7 for $7 because he had $7 in his pocket when he fucking left home or whatever. Listen, the guy is like, thank you for making this the #1 track on iTunes. Thank you. Oh, the fastest growing song in all of America, in the world. #1. I'm surprised he didn't have a tequila in one hand and his fucking Zoa in the other hand, cracking them open and double fisting them. It's everything. Like even today, I watched a video on YouTube of The Rock, which was a cool video, but he just ruins it with like every time. It's like, I love the guy so much, but like, dude, stop. Just stop plugging your shit and stop like humble bragging everything you do, man. It's crazy. He had a video today that I watched on him on YouTube of being on a video in the gym, fucking jacked to shit, talking to a football team that he went to high school with, the same high school, and he's amping them up, and then he's giving everybody gear, right? All like and the first thing he says is, "What I'm doing for you guys," I'm paraphrasing, but what I'm doing is I'm going to give you guys all of Project Rock's the number one selling shoe in the world. Actually, the fastest growing number one shoe on the market, along with the patented Project Rock with the high school, the number one selling sweater in all of Under Armour. And we are just so, so grateful. Thank you guys for making this number one. Yes, number one. That's right, number one. And it's just, it's a nonstop. He did it in the fucking song, man. I am surprised in a line. He should have had a line where he said, like, I'm number one in everything I touch. You know what I mean? Like, he needed to just own it. Like, the guy is like, come on, man. He's a walking fucking advertisement, and it's crazy. I understand. I'm ranting about The Rock here, guys.
Officially, it sounds like you finally hit a boat where I was 2 years ago with The Rock. You've officially, you got there. It took a while.
And I'm a sellout, man. You know, I'm the guy that is all about make as much money as you can, promote and sell, and do your thing. But the shit it's hurting me, man. But I still watch it because he's such a charismatic guy and he's doing all the cool shit. And it's like, how can you hate on the guy? Because he doesn't seem like he has a bad bone in his body, but he's just so humble, braggy about everything he does. So he's got to add number one to it all the time.
Here's
worker in the room.
Yeah.
Hardest worker in the room. Blood, sweat, respect. Hardest worker, number one.
Jack Black, did you see the interview where Jack Black does an impression of The Rock and he does basically what you just did there? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's how I feel about The Rock. Because where you are now is where I was 2 years ago with The Rock. You just took a while to get here, but we're here. It took Zoa and the tequila, but we finally got there.
The Zoa did me in, man.
The Zoa definitely was the tipping point. Yeah,
it did me in.
So I gotta be honest with you. I don't think The Rock's that nice of a guy. The moment and this is why you just said about 5 times in that rant about his humble brag. Nobody that's a nice guy, honestly and truly, humble brags as much as Dwayne the fucking Rock Johnson. Nobody that's honestly nice goes up and fucking sucks their own dick publicly as often as Dwayne the Rock Johnson and is still an honestly humble and nice individual on the back end. I'm not saying this man kicks puppies and punches babies. But what I am saying is that motherfucker is a diva. I bet you he's a nightmare to fucking work with. And he said, I bet you he is like that off camera and on. I bet you that guy is in his fucking trailer doing line reads, drinking his shit, and looking at the mirror and telling himself he's number one in every fucking category. That you have to be for it to just so freely flow from your mouth every 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And then to have the fucking audacity to get on this track with Tech 9. And like you said, though, honestly, Tech 9's getting more out of this, obviously, than The Rock is.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy for him.
And which is exactly why Tech 9 would have also let him give his biography, at the end of the fucking track where he just talks for a while. That's the only reason, is because it's shine for Tech 9 and Tech 9's shit. It's mainstreaming Tech 9. But, dude, you know who is a nice guy on average, or a more genuine nice guy on average, and doesn't fucking humble brag every 5 fucking seconds and does all this shit, and Dwayne feuded with publicly and just dug it up again 72 hours ago? Vin fucking Diesel. When's the last time you heard Vin Diesel open his fucking mouth publicly about him and The Rock having a fucking sissy slap fight over all this shit? It's only ever Dwayne. Every fucking time. And he always, frames it like there's peace at the end of every one. But obviously there's no peace if you keep running your fucking big ass mouth. And you come out and you're like, yeah, we sat down man to man and we really like hashed it out, and at the end we really just discovered that we're two ends of the same spectrum. But there was peace at the end. Fuck you, there was peace. I bet you there was nothing. I bet you tried to sell Vin Diesel 5 fucking crates of Zoa energy drink. You probably tried to give him a free sweater and a fucking slap on the ass and a pair of shoes at the other end. You probably tried to fucking, like, say that you're welcome for me bringing your franchise to billion-dollar fucking status, and then walked out of the fucking room. Like, Vin Diesel is the type of motherfucker, he's like a big meat-headed geek. And he wears all of his shit on his sleeve. So when Vin says some shit, whether you like it or not, you know it's at least Vin saying the shit. When The Rock says some shit, he's constantly selling you. He's a car salesman. You never know when he turns it off because secret, he's never turning it off. It's always on, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when Vin almost completely, and in my opinion, unironically, made the Fast movie about family, and together, that was entirely because of the feud between him and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And that was his way of making sure that Dwayne knew this wasn't for anyone else. This was for Vin and Dwayne. Dwayne to know
this is a pissing contest for sure.
That this is family, and the family is literally the people that made the franchise together, not Dwayne "The Rock" fucking Johnson that came in for 2 movies and did his fucking thing and then said, fuck you, I don't want to do this anymore if I have to be in a scene with you at this point, and walked away. The Rock has shown one of 2 things. One, he used to be, and I believe this honestly, it's not that I think that Dwayne is the kicking puppies and punching babies type guy. But he has, in my opinion, been hideously corrupted with his own success. He's one of the most successful individuals on the fucking planet. And if you go back and you watch his old wrestling shit and you know where he comes from in the wrestling business, where his father, Rocky Johnson, etc., his whole wrestling family, and his entry into the business, and how he got to where he was, and then how he acted in public and talked and interacted with people, and then when he got into movies and it wasn't just fucking walk tall, stand tall, whatever fucking movie that was, where he had a fucking 2x4 in his hand on the front cover. Tall. Like once he got past that point of like shitty like C-tier movies and he made his first big dollars, and then all of a sudden a fucking light, it wasn't a bad movie, but I was just using it as like a turning point. It's like a light switch change. And he went full sell all the time, humble brag.
He went full Hollywood, man.
Humble brag all the time. Yeah. And he is so far up his own fucking ass that he might find the testicles that have retracted because of the amount of fucking PEDs that motherfucker is on at 50 years old, cranking that shit out at the gym to maintain his physique, to sell Zoa energy drinks in a Tech 9 song. He is somebody that unfortunately success got to his fucking head, and now we're watching it in real time. But like you said, he's also incredibly charismatic, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're incredibly charismatic, you publicly get so much patting on the back that you have to reduce down to punching babies, kicking puppies before you start to get substantial backlash, and you maybe get a small reality check. Otherwise, like, think about who he's really humble around. The closest person that he's like sort of humble around or like is Kevin Hart. And it's because he's literally, and I swear this is my take, 4 times the size of Kevin Hart, and he can treat Kevin Hart like a child. You see how they interact in every fucking thing, and it's all Kevin Hart taking the L's in every fucking like paired up interview. It's all Dwayne at the top, and that's how he interacts with people. And that's supposed to be his friend, Kevin fucking Hart.
Well, I'm sure they're friends. I'm sure they're friends, but I think what it is with The Rock, and I'm just projecting, right? I don't know the fucking guy.
This is all just my opinion.
Yeah, he might actually be a saint. I mean, I really don't know. I have a hard time believing that, just from what I'm seeing. But there's no doubt in my mind that he's one of the he's definitely one of the most charismatic people in Hollywood, and has been for a long time. He's very successful. He does a lot of great stuff. He does a lot of great charity stuff. Unfortunately, even when he does these charity things, he's usually selling out and selling a brand, or if he's giving away a truck, it's the same brands and the same deals and the same exposure. It's not even probably him giving away this shit. It's stuff that is just partners and favors and different, shit like that. But
well, he's giving away for that brand for the exposure that he brings for the
100%.
giveaway.
100%. Because if you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to go and buy a Ferrari and give a Ferrari to somebody knowing that the video is going to get 50 million views and Ferrari ain't going to pay for nothing, you're high as fuck. This guy is the ultimate businessman, right? Like, there's no doubt about it. The guy is the hardest worker in the room. And thus, he has an ego. I mean, the reason why him and Vin had such a butting of heads is because The Rock went into Vin Diesel's baby. That was his domain. That's his baby and family and everything. He came in, brought his Rock thing, was very successful, and probably thought he ran the show now, that it was his fucking shit. And he called the shots, and Vin Diesel likely checked him, probably took him and said, hey, motherfucker, I appreciate what you're doing, but bro, I'm the alpha in this domain. I hired you. You didn't
hire me.
And The Rock, I hired you, right? Yeah. But the thing is The Rock is probably not used to, I guarantee you, being around people that say no to him or challenge him, right? Because as long as he is quite literally the biggest, most towering person in any room he's in, and the most successful in any room he's in, if anybody challenges that, they usually go on the shit list. Look what happened to Tyrese. Now, Tyrese is fucking crazy. He's batshit crazy anyway.
Yeah,
but
Tyrese off,
The Rock will fucking tear you a new strip. And he's got a lot of people on his side, man. He's got a lot of influence, a lot of power. I don't know how we got all the way around here, but I at the end of the day, I still really like The Rock. I think he is, I think he's a good person. I truly do. But when you're making, hundreds of millions of dollars a year and you literally don't sleep, and the guy just works and works and works and becomes number one literally in everything. The guy just speaks it all into existence. Like, the guy is just it's almost like he's trained his audience to get everything he touches to number one. Like, it's actually insane. Kudos to him. I mean, he's a marketing god. We can write books about this dude, and there will be, and I'm sure he'll be president one day. I can almost guarantee you he will be at some point when he's ready to finally fucking slow the hell down and do a different job and be number one.
His charisma is the only reason the humble brag, he can get away with it. Because if anyone else humble bragged as often as he did, they'd be burned alive.
Oh yeah, they'd be a meme. They would literally be a meme. It just wouldn't happen, right? But it's The Rock, and he played the persona of the guy that was the fucking man, and now he actually is the fucking man. Like, not behind some scripted WWE shit. He is the actual fucking man. I mean, whatever the fuck The Rock wants to do in this world, he can literally do it. He could call anybody for anything, and they will say yes. They just will. So, I mean, listen, the song, great for Tech 9. I'm happy he's got a number one track. I could have done without the tequila throw in and the speech at the end, which was just like, dude, man, like, rap your verse and get the fuck off. Like, save your speeches and your last word, for your Instagram, not for a song. Stop giving me speeches, man. I'm over it. I don't give a fuck, right? So that's what I thought about the song, and a long-winded thing.